Hey, out there, Reverend Lamont-James B. Escoe Jr. Sitting here with my wife. She's keeping the eye check over me. Um, yeah, so I wrote this book here. It's called Soul Hanging by a Silver Cord. You can go on, um, I guess, Amazon, anywhere you can go on, you can purchase the book. And so, yeah, this is my book here. There's my little picture in the back of it there. Um, Little testimony about my life and how I became a minister and some of the things I learned about all of that. And you're gonna hear a diss in this book. Um, I was supposed to be a native tongue, and I had met De La Soul here. So some of what happened is in this book, right? So when I got my chance to be a great black talent, it turned into talent, Talon. But now you know it's Holyclaws. Praise the Lord Jesus who saved my soul. What's interesting, guys, is that this is while I was also still doing gospel music. And what was interesting is that I still got the same answer that God always gives. And that was I heard God talk to me, and that was it. So, um, the song, what was it? Ooh, ooh came out, and the little disc was in that song. You notice that in that song, the video, there's a long version of the video. In that long version of the video, see, I got little things in here. In that long version of the video, um, in that long version of the video, got my little stuff in here. That's one of the rap albums I did there. Um, there's Bob Larson's book there. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice book. So on there, if you watch the long version is harder to find. But uh, one of the De La Soul members was in a cab, and he turned around to one of the other people that they're affiliated with, and he said, "Hey, where that church money at?" And then they go into the club. Dave Chappelle is there cracking the jokes. They go into the club, but in that video, if you watch it and you analyze what's going on, you see portals in that video, and you see the portals in that video, and you'll notice that they're talking about the Wiz, and the Wiz is a short term for Satan. All right, so in my heyday, I was supposed to go leave from Detroit, and my entrance way into being a rap star was through De La Soul, being here. They were at the hotel here in Detroit. That's in this book here. So why do people drop dead? Well, why do stars like Aaliyah and Tupac? What happens to what's going on in their world? Why are they able to? And so some of my expertise, some of my life is in this book. And so um, I like you to have that book, right? Um, and I got another book that I lost the manuscript to, and then I'm working on some other things. But yeah, so um, people, I became the first rapping exorcist. All the fame and accolades and success that I would have obtained by going ahead and launching out for what I thought was an opportunity, God reversed it around to where I'm the first rapper in Exorcist. So this is 1998, 99. I was driving the cab in 1999 and 2000. But in, I was getting up early in the morning and I got a hold of Dr. Larson's book. And that book, I started reading that book. I went back out to go drive in my cab. I was still at Lighthouse Cathedral in those years. I must have started at Lighthouse Cathedral in 1996 and got saved and born again. And, I was doing my thing out in the cab, but I was reading the book, and the book shows you how to do an exorcism, properly. And so I had that knowledge with me. And I was making buku bucks in that cab, making a lot of money and driving around town. And what started to happen is that I run into situations where, I had people in my cab and I would be telling them about Jesus. And there's one particular time that a person was growling in the back of the cab. And so I prayed for him, and based on what I knew about reading Dr. Larson's book, as I said before, the demons came out. But while in that season, while all of that was happening, I had also ran into De La Soul. And I didn't tell him about anything about cab driving. You guys hear me? I didn't tell him anything about cab driving. I did tell him about Virtuous 5 Christian Records, which is the name of my record label since then till now. It's like Philippians, the Philippians scripture now. So this is Philippians 4. It says, whatever if there's any virtue, think on these things, right? That's scripture. So when I was still in Tulsa in my last years, I had a recording studio that was up on my door on like the 54th floor of the City of Faith building, where I was doing Christian hip hop and discipling. I had I was part of the Victory Christian Center cell group. So my cell group was Christian hip hop. And so I was going around town and helping people do Christian hip hop. We would record up there and pray a little bit. I did a little bit of discipling, met some new friends, helped them do Christian hip hop. But I never, it's a thing that people, especially in gospel music, like you're not supposed to sign on to an entity. Like a business entity. Though it's also, if you sign on to somebody's business entity, you put yourself in a position where you can get in contact to the entities that are controlling that business entity, right? So, I just God protected me from that, and like I said, while I was doing that, I wasn't thinking about it, and I was with an evangelist, and she was just what do you call it, like a congresswoman or whatever, city council woman, and she said, "Well, come help me." And I was down there in Detroit on the boulevard there at the Regis Hotel, and I was helping her do a crusade. It was a little small one. And I went and found somebody in my neighborhood that I knew was on drugs, and brought her to the conference, and she's able to minister to him some more. And so when I left out where the conference was at, or when I left out, De La Soul was in the lobby. So me being a hip hop head, I talked to them, and we talked about me. I did my rap. It's not online. I haven't put it online. I don't know why, but it's called Jesus is the Living Way, a rap song I did. Really dope rap song. Probably the press that I put on the album, y'all. But I did that, and anybody that knows hip hop, it was dope. It was fat. So it was like cool, well, they gave me a telephone number, and I was supposed to go out and meet at some point and call them. But before I got ready to do that, for the first time in my life, for the most part, I heard God talking to me. Like, I don't hear God talking to me Like even with the Beast on the Drone stuff that's been happening, I didn't hear his voice, right? I'll be somewhere and I'm able to look at what's going on. I know that God, it's a way that God talks to me, but I don't always hear his voice, and I don't think you're supposed to anyway. But I heard him, and he told me, and he told me why he told me, and some of that's in this book. I need to do an updated copy, some things that have happened since. Um, but hey, y'all, I am the first rapping exorcist, right? So even when I'm nobody, I'm somebody. At the end of the day, I did what I was supposed to do, you know. But the first rapping exorcist, and so hey, if you guys Black History Month comes around, even if it's a native history thing, and you guys need a positive role model to come talk to the kids at school about things they're gonna need to know about life, really deep things. Feel free to send me an invite to your school, and I read the book to the kids, and let them know about how your life's supposed to follow the Lord Jesus. Um, yeah, so this is my first book. Um, really my second book. This is the first work I've published. And shout out to Lighthouse Cathedral. Um, Shout out to Oral Roberts University and Victory Christian Center. Bob Larson, Dr. Bob Larson. Um, Let me see. I know I got a picture somewhere. Past Pastor Green somewhere. Let me see here. Let me see where it's at. I don't know where I got it at in here, but oh, they go to this right there. Oh, they go to this right there. Y'all want to see me, right? I'm already starting stuff, y'all. But yeah, brothers want to dish you and stuff. But it's funny, like all my fame that I would have had ain't there. So I know something happened to me. But yeah, it's like sometimes when you where you're supposed to be, you're doing what you're supposed to do. That's when people persecute you. That's what people like. They're not in your corner no more. All right. Well, that's Lighthouse Cathedral right there, and that's my Pastor Green, and then there's Brother Melvin. Then Brother Ivy just passed away recently. But this was like Gladstone, and then they moved to Puritan. But these are the people who God brought me to when I first got saved. When I was being pulled out as a hip hop boy, one of the best rappers in Detroit. And so, yeah, get my book and support me. How much I got? I got my brother. My brother sent me $50, and then Dexter. Yeah, my brother Dexter from Oral Roberts, he sent me $50, and then who else?
Teddy Irma.
Teddy sent me something.
And Adaria Watts.
Adaria Watts and brother Teddy. It's my wife trying to. A lot of us at Oral Roberts remember brother Teddy. That's my homie.
And some of my relatives too.
And some of my relatives. So like my overhead cost here, my internet is free here. But my overhead cost here is like $350 a month. So I've been here for a little bit over a year. I'm waiting to get accepted into a doctor's degree program. I'm wondering why after I got this book, or Roberts did, to say this dude is the first rapping exorcist. We better get him into his doctor's of ministry program. I ain't heard from them, y'all. They're about to get a diss track. Anyway, to all my hip hop people out there, y'all know where the brother coming from. I'm always Jesus first. If I said anything out there that sounded like suspicious or out to hurt you, I didn't mean to say it. But when I say stuff like that, it's for a reason. But some things I'm not gonna talk about. But yeah, like so if any of y'all out there in the entertainment world, right, you can get my book, right? If you wanted to do real music for the Lord, you know, I'm like one of these gatekeeper people. And I'm trying not to laugh, right? Because I didn't plan all of this, right? You know how Illuminati, they got gatekeepers? You know how y'all go out there in that music world and there's certain people that y'all talk to and you know that they try and pull you into that type of thing for you losing your soul. I'm like the total opposite of that, right? So in Detroit, you got Isham, right? Isham, right? Isham is like the king of like satanic demonic rap, right? Right here in Detroit is where you get that type of rap music here, the horrorcore stuff. We did all of that, right? And so, I mean, our hip hop, right? Our hip hop from Detroit. So, like, I'm the opposite of that, right? No, I'm not opposite. I'm like the one that's like Jesus rap, right? And so, but um, throughout my life, I realized that my greater calling, and so you guys out there, man, y'all want to do some real gospel music. Like I know what to do spiritually, supernaturally. And I can probably give you some tips on how to get things done in the business world. But guys, it's tight out there, and you're gonna lose your soul. Right.
Where can you buy the book,
All right.
James?
Right. I just told them it's like Amazon, anywhere, Barnes and Nobles. You just put Soul Hanging by Silver Cord, Lamont-James, Escoe Jr., and it'll come up. They got the ebook is $3.99. Then the other one's like $16.99. And there's like a hard copy. And peace out to all my people out there. I know I talked to some of y'all online. Some of y'all gonna always support me and stuff. You know, your real friends that even when you wasn't saved, they was on your side. You know what I mean? uh, but yeah. So hey, some of y'all I know like if y'all stars, I'm that person. I'm like the opposite of the Illuminati. I'm like, oh, so this is the special door you go through to be able to do stuff for the Lord. You know what I mean? That's where I get to going after the devil. So how that works is a lot of people a lot of y'all in the music in Hollywood. Y'all got a lot of devils, and so like I'm that guy, right? Right? And I'm the first one, right, in hip hop, right? And I know God's looking for. And some of my best friends out there who do rap, yeah, I know I'm looking what is second, third at, right? So I love y'all out there, and I think this is just a short video here. Um, Thanks for all of the people who, my mom and my dad. My dad's hanging in there, y'all. Lamont Escoe Senior. Thanks for all my family and friends who always been behind me, and all the other churches that's been behind me. And you know, I'm not saying that I have arrived, but you know, I have to. You know, this is protocol here. After you get 2 degrees from Oral Roberts, you gotta have something to show, right? So, but yeah, yeah. So I'm the first rapper in Exorcist. So, like I said, when Black History Month come, make sure you have me come out to the school, right? Cause look, when you're doing things for Jesus, I mean, now I ain't being racist. If somebody else from different color came out and they was like I'm the dopest MC ever and I'm first person to cast out the devil in rap, they'd be so popular, y'all. You know what I mean? They'd be like the top best rapper in the universe, right? I'm trying to exaggerate, right? But so, like I said, so you know, but I don't need nobody's applaud. That obviously. So you know, I'm glad that I did what God told me to do. I'm glad that God chose me. I'm glad that by His grace I was able to make the right decision. Oh God, you would know me as a dope rapper, one of the dopest rappers ever, right? You know me as that. But I'd rather you know me as a servant of Jesus Christ, a son, Jesus' little brother, a son of God. I am a real son of God for real. Let's see, I know a lot of y'all like to say that in y'all rap songs. And I don't get an invite on the drink traps. You know, I don't get an invite on none of the rap shows to sit there and talk about what I saw, what's going on. You know what I mean? I get total like I'm not popular at all. But my job is to get demons out of people, right? So some exorcists they got other things going on. Like so some exorcists like they got a particular niche. Me, I'm like hip hop and music. So some of y'all out there, y'all know what's going on, or y'all scared to know what's going on. I'll be the person you contact. My number is 313-200-3561. I'm in Troy. My office is in Troy, Michigan. Right? You should be able to look me up. Lamont Escoe, you see me stuff on YouTube, but you just give me a telephone call, leave a message, and I always pick up my phone.
And our Gmail is End Time Exorcist
Yeah, End Time
at gmail.com.
EndTimeExorcist at gmail.com.
If you want an appointment.
Right.
Via Zoom or in person.
Yeah, so we do Zoom in person. So, but yeah, that money be getting them, y'all. That money, that filthy lucre, that money, they be out there for that money. These Christian artists out there, they half doing it, and so yeah, they bring a demon to themselves. But like I said, I was doing Jesus rapper, and Lord told me, nope, can't go sign with them. And I was like, man, it's De La Soul. In my mind, I wasn't trying to argue with God, but in my mind, like, it's De La Soul. Like, De La Soul got to be like one of the cleanest rap groups compared to other rap groups. You know what I mean? So I was happy. I knew I was gonna make it. I was gonna get all my connects. You know what I mean? My general connects in terms of hip hop. The first people I was gonna go to, I was going all my HP buddies. I was gonna go to Jimmy and Lou. I was gonna be like, yo, I'm in. Where the rest of y'all at? And that's I got a couple of connects somewhere. And so some of my best friends connected to the rap crew. So when God called me, He pulled me out of so much stuff that I just didn't even know what was going on. Then my best rap buddies, now my best friends gonna be Enel, Israel, Larry, Yolanda, Brandon, Walter, Kwame and I, those my best friends. But outside of that, like I was but yeah, so God pulled me away from a lot of stuff. But outside of that, my two road dogs, my two best rap buddies, and one of them is last time I checked, he was in prison. And that was Jay Gamble, Johnny, and then Amir Clark. I still call him Fury, but he's Rapness. Those are my two closest rap buddies. And I got my brother Jerome Mathis. That's my road dog. He's already for the Lord. When we met, his best friends, and Rob Thompson and Jerome. And then I already mentioned some of them. There's like Dongza and Teddy, certain people, some of the brothers out there. But yeah, so first rapping Exorcist. So act like you heard, you know what I mean? Act like you heard. Don't be faking it, you know what I mean? so yeah, so good starter book, but it's a lot of truths in here.
Aren't you working on another book too?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it done now. I gotta work on that. But yeah, so hey y'all, they gotta accept your brother. Your brother got his own book. They said, hey, give us a paper. I said, hey, I got a book and a paper. Here go my book here. You know what I mean? I'm the first rapping Exorcist. Say it right here on the back. And I gave him, hey y'all, I gave him the hard look. Look at that. I didn't give him like the little preacher look. I'm like I mean business. See that, y'all. So if someone know what that means, I say that, hey, you know what time it is, man. You know what's up, man. You know. But thank God that God took me out of that, right? I don't have nothing today. Like I don't have no money. I don't have nothing. I don't have no fame. But I did. This is the spiritual, supernatural accomplishment. And at the end of the day, you're glad that you accomplished something for God, because can't nobody take my crown. Can't nobody take the reward that God gave me. And and so I'm still doing my thing today. You know what I mean? And I'm a Bob Larson protege. Ain't that something how good God is? God said, don't you sign on that record label. I heard God talk to me. And He said this, y'all. He said, I'm jealous over you. Like that. I was like, what? I was on East Philadelphia. My Escoe family. I was on East Philadelphia. I was on whose side I was on? I was on Grandma Vivian's side.